Please subscribe to my channel to help me grow. I knew something was wrong the moment her laugh cut through the silence like a blade. It wasn't playful, or warm, or even irritated. It was sharp. Cold. A sound that didn't belong in our living room at midnight. And then she smirked at me, her eyes narrowed just enough to make the edges dangerous, and said, "You're a waste of my time." For a moment, I couldn't breathe. My chest tightened as if the walls themselves had collapsed inward. My mind scrambled, searching for context, a joke, anything that made this sentence part of a misunderstanding. But there was no misunderstanding. Her face told the truth before her lips could twist it into something gentler. I swallowed hard. "What did you just say?" She didn't blink. Didn't flinch. Didn't even shift her weight. She just tossed her phone onto the couch and crossed her arms as though she'd been waiting for this moment. Waiting for me to break. "It's exactly what you heard," she said. "I'm tired of pretending." The room felt suddenly smaller, crowded with shadows that hadn't existed minutes earlier. My heartbeat thudded in my ears. I didn't know whether to run, scream, or laugh at the absurdity of the moment. Instead, I just stared at her, trying to recognize the woman I'd spent years loving. "What are you pretending about?" The question escaped me like a whisper, cracked and uneven. She sighed, annoyed, as if I were a child asking a question she had answered too many times. "Us," she said. "This relationship. It's stagnant." Stagnant. The word hit harder than the insult. Because stagnant meant dead. Stagnant meant something once alive had stopped moving. Stagnant meant she'd felt this way long before tonight. My eyes drifted to her phone on the couch. The screen faced down, but its presence felt loud. Loud enough to answer questions I hadn't fully formed. "Who is he?" My voice shook. A flicker, barely visible, crossed her expression. Guilt. Fear. Or maybe frustration at being caught. I couldn't tell anymore. She didn't answer. The silence confirmed everything. I stepped back, feeling the floor tilt beneath me. "How long?" She looked away. "It doesn't matter." But it did. Of course it did. The length of the lie was the measure of the betrayal. "How long?" My voice grew steadier, fueled by something hotter, darker. "A few months," she finally muttered. I felt the air leave my lungs in a single blow. Months. Not days. Not weeks. Months of shared jokes, shared meals, shared bedsheets, while her heart drifted somewhere else. While her loyalty slipped through cracks I didn't even know existed. "Why?" I asked. "We were fine." "We were." "No," she snapped. "We weren't. You just didn't notice." I flinched as if she'd hit me. "You could have talked to me. You could have told me." She shook her head. "I tried. You were always working. Always tired. Always distracted." He made me feel seen. The word sliced straight through me. Seen. As if I had been staring at her for years without actually looking. As if he had handed her something I never even knew she needed. I closed my eyes briefly, grounding myself, trying not to drown in the flood of anger and heartbreak rising inside me. The memories of our late-night conversations, our shared dreams, the promises whispered in darkness, they all twisted painfully, mutating into lies. "You're blaming me." I whispered. "I'm explaining," she replied. "No," I said. "You're justifying." She bristled. "You know what? Think what you want. I'm done giving explanations to someone who refuses to listen." I let out a slow breath. Something shifted inside me then, not anger, not heartbreak, but clarity. Sharp, sudden clarity that felt almost liberating. "Perfect," I said quietly. "Because I'm done giving you my time." The words hung heavy in the air, echoing the finality I felt down to my bones. She blinked, startled. Maybe she expected me to plead or rage. Maybe she expected me to crumble. But something inside me had snapped cleanly. I walked past her, picking up my jacket from the chair. She scrambled a little, her tone cracking for the first time. "Where are you going?" "Away," I said. "Before I waste another second trying to fix something you broke months ago." Her lips parted, as if she wanted to pull me back with a softer version of herself. Maybe guilt was finally catching up. Maybe fear. Maybe the realization that the safety net she assumed would always be under her had just vanished. But I didn't give her the chance. As I reached for the door, she whispered, "I didn't mean to hurt you." I paused. Just long enough to feel the weight of the moment. "You didn't mean for me to find out," I said. "That's not the same thing." And then I stepped out. The door closed behind me with a soft click that sounded like an ending. A clean, undeniable ending. As the cold night air wrapped around me, something inside me settled. The pain was still there, raw and aching, but it was no longer trapping me. It was transforming me. I walked away. And for the first time in months, maybe years, every step felt like mine.